want to welcome you to Back to School Night. I'm Mr. Ward, and I am sorry that I am not able to be here tonight. I did get married on Saturday and just spending a couple days with my new beautiful bride. And just wanted to kind of create a video just so you guys could see that, I am here, I am real. Kids talk about me, I'm sure, and I do exist. Just want to give you a quick rundown of the class, and if there are any questions at all, please do not hesitate to email me. I'll put my email address up in a couple minutes. Reach out to me in any way, and I will absolutely answer any questions. I mean, tonight's just supposed to be an overview anyway, so I'm going to give that to you, and I'm going to jump right in because usually when I'm there, I actually have about 7 or 8 minutes, and it takes me about 10 minutes to get through it. So I will also say that language or writing workshop, this is a language arts writing workshop. Mrs. Verdone and Ms. Kofsky will explain what goes on during class E and F if your child is in either of those classes. Language arts, we focus more on the reading aspect, and there is a lot of writing. I'm going to say that. Students will write in both classes. Writing is something that's very important no matter what job you have. The purpose, though, is like we read to produce writing. In language arts is the way I look at it. Whereas in writing workshop, we write to be read, to have others read. So the 2 novels that we absolutely read this year, one, my favorite, To Kill a Mockingbird. Unfortunately, it is still very relevant in today's world. It does deal with racism and equality, and I don't want to give away too much of the book. If you haven't read it, I highly suggest it. We will absolutely read this. That'll be a little bit later. The first book we read is called Drums, Girls, and Dangerous Pie, and kids can generally relate to it because it's about an 8th grade student, and his brother goes through leukemia, and it's a coming of age book. The main character is in 8th grade, does learn a great deal about himself, the importance of family, friends, and being able to rely on people. So Drums, Girls, and Dangerous Pie, To Kill a Mockingbird are the 2 books. As far as independent reading goes this year, there are, so language arts covered, independent reading. And the biggest thing to know is students will have to read 3 books per marking period. They'll generally be given 2 to 3 weeks between books to read them. The first marking period, it will be 2 weeks between. All they have to do is have the book read by the due date. The first date is October 2nd, so we want to make sure that they're done at that point. We'll do the stuff that we do with the books in class. The first one we're working on summarizing during Unit 1. They will summarize the book and create a great summary according to the structure we're going to go over in class. I don't do the independent SRC tests for 2 reasons. 1, I don't like the questions. 2, sometimes, now your students would not do this. I know this. Your kids would not do this. But in the past, I've had students who just go up and take 8, 10 SRCs and hope to pass one. And then say, Mr. Ward, I did them. I want to make sure the kids read the book. Reading, again, if you read 20 minutes per night, studies do show that you score in like the top 90th percentile on standardized tests. So we want to get them reading. So even nights they do not have homework, and I know I'm talking a little fast, but there's a lot to get through. Just make sure they should be reading. And I try to give them some time in class. They do have 4 days of every 6 in advisory where they can read, so there's no reason not to have these books read. If there are any issues, please just reach out and let me know. And grading and homework are 2 areas that parents generally ask about. I do total points, and so it does kind of weight things in a way. Tests are always worth 100 points. Quizzes generally worth about 50. Homework, classwork, anywhere from 10 to 25, depending on what the assignment is. The lesser things 10, the more in-depth things 20 to 25. So total points is the way we go. Homework, I need it here on time, especially in writing workshop, because we might have spent 2 days on the introduction of an essay. And if we're not done, then it needs to go home and get finished, or we're going to fall behind the process. And if you're a Sixers fan, you can see my bulletin board behind me. It says, trust the process. Anyway, if you're not a Sixers fan, let me move on so I don't bore you and lose you. The couple other things. One is, if I go back to, bear with me. All right, I'm trying to pull up the remind. I think I'm getting it now. Not letting me. Anyway, with remind, there we go. So if you've already signed up, great. I know a lot of people have. If not, and you're in class BF, your student is in class BF, please text to 81010. It's at CMS Ward BF, at CMS Ward BF. And if it's class CE, it's at CMS Ward CE. So again, just want to text to 81018 at, and the at symbol is very important. If you don't put it, it won't register. At CMS Ward BF, at CMS Ward CE. And if you need me, email, it's fward@college12.org. I generally check that every hour, if not more. Kids are working. I can pop up easily, return emails. I generally send emails. It's probably the best way and quickest way to get me. Again, if there are any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. Communication's big. You can already tell if you're on Remind. I've sent a lot of reminds. I've even tried toying around with, here's a recap. And I might not, I'm going to try and do it generally when I'm thinking of it, but a recap of what we learned in class. So if you get it, if the kids get it, they're quizzing themselves. If you get it, you can say, two-step kids, let me tell you, what you learned in school today? Nothing. What you do? Nothing. So when they say that and you get like the recap or a little question, you can ask them, what's Mr. Ward talking about here? And see if they can explain it back to you. And if not, that'll tell us all something. Maybe it didn't get through. I think that's about it. My time, the bell's going to ring soon. So I thank you again for coming. Again, if there are any questions, concerns, please let me know. And I thank you.